Hi fans, and welcome to this Week 7 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Last Friday night, the Wolverines defeated the Hampton Talbots at the Wolverina. This week, they traveled to North Hills to take on the Indians in an Allegheny 9 conference matchup. We're going to sit down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak to review last week's victory over Hampton, preview this week's game against North Hills, and we'll also let you see highlights of last week's game. All of that and more on the pregame show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Presenting the pride of Woodland Hills football, the 2016 Wolverines, led by head coach George Novak and his staff.
Pass to the near side, complete to Rodney Denard. Denard breaks free inside of the 45, dives over a Hampton Talbot. Whitehurst looking to pass, looking left, throwing left. The pass is complete in the flat. Catching the football is Avram Abramovitz, and he will be brought down over along the far boundary. Whitehurst in the pistol. He'll hand off. Jawan Hill stepping left, picking up a blocker over to that far boundary. Inside of the 5, he'll head towards the pylon. Does he cross it? He does. It's the Woodland Hills touchdown on a pickup of 14 yards. The handoff will go to the tailback. Breaking free comes Alex Bianco, I believe. Running to the right goes tailback Alex Bianco. He'll step forward. He's got the first down for Hampton. Anderson off of play action, rolls to the near side left. He will dump it off. The pass complete to Tyler Steedle. Play action as Anderson bootlegs to the left. He'll try to step forward. He'll be brought down. No, they'll say he crosses the goal line for a Hampton touchdown of 6 yards. Beautiful kick all the way down to the 1 yard line. And on the return for the Wolverines is Jawan Hill. He's got himself some room. Finally forced out of bounds as he crosses the 40. One receiver to the far boundary left. End around Derek Caraway. He's got a crease as he bounces it across the 50 inside of the 45 as he breaks free around the 40 yard line. He's going to come back inside and he will be brought down inside of the 40. Whitehurst throws it to the left, complete to Derek Caraway. He's inside of the 30, dancing his way, still on his feet, inside of the 25, and finally forced out of bounds, but Derek Caraway showing nifty moves for the third time today. Handoff. Hill slides on that wet turf, but still able to keep his feet inside of the 10, inside of the 5, and he will cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown of 11 yards. High snap, but it is corralled by Whirling, and he'll get a wobbler away. They'll take one bounce into the hands of Derek Caraway as he runs to the right. Stepping forward now, bursts free, still on his feet, bouncing off of a teammate as he cuts to the right-hand side. Off to the races goes Derek Caraway. I don't see any flags down there on the football field. Into the end zone goes Derek Caraway for a huge punt return for a TD. Hands off to the tailback Bianco. He's got a crease as he's inside of the 30, still on his feet, running to the far boundary to the 20, still on his feet to the 15, and he'll finally be brought down around the 10-yard line. He'll hand off, the handoff to Bianco, and he will be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He drives his way to the 1, the whistles blow, and I don't think he was able to get that ball across the goal line. Looking to the right, and the pass is complete. One-handed grab by Woodland Hills with the catch, Deontay Robertson. He will be brought down finally at the midfield stripe. What a great catch by Deontay Robertson. Whitehurst off of play action. Rolls to the near side left. He's going to step and throw, and the pass is intercepted. Stepping up and picking the ball off is Austin Steedle. Shotgun again, Anderson looking right, a little hitch and go, and Derek Caraway runs back. He'll pick it off. He's running to the far side right. He's calling out signals to get some blockers. He crosses the 10 to the 15, up the middle to the 20, the 25 to the far sideline 30. Will he be wrestled out of bounds? And Derek Caraway plays center field, picks it off, and returns it from around the 4 out to the 32-yard line. Jones looking right, throwing right. The pass complete to Avram Abramovitz, his second catch of the game, and Abramovitz will be wrestled down after picking up the Woodland Hills first down. Pressured from the backside as he releases the football. It's complete to Deontay Robertson. He's inside of the 40, cutting his way down to the 35-yard line, brought down to the 33. Jones looks right, throws right, the pass complete, and over on that far side is Avram Abramovitz. Jones off of play action, looks to his left, throws to his left, the pass is complete. Abram Abramovitz has the first down. Handoff going to Juwan Hill. He's got some room to the right-hand side. He'll cross the 25, inside of the 20. He's got the first down inside of the 15 before finally going out of bounds at the 13. One back set, handoff Hill on the pistol, running to the left. He's inside of the 5. He'll cross the goal line for his third touchdown of the game. Anderson hands off. Bianco running right, spinning his way forward. He's close to the first down. Marker, the ball sprang free. I think it was ripped loose by Rodney Denard. Did the Wolverines dive on it? The officials unpiling, and it's Woodland Hills coming out of the pile with the football. Rodney Denard with the strip. The Wolverines recover. Jones looking right the whole way, and he'll throw it right into the awaiting arms of the linebacker Blaze Smith, and Smith down that far sideline. 4th and 4 at the Woodland Hills 20. Anderson off of play action. Drops back, he's pressured, he's rolling to the right. He will not escape Austin Balashak. No, he will somehow, but now a second wave of Wolverines comes in there, and Deontay Robertson will make the stop. Handoff goes to the tailback Hill. He's got a crease. He's across the 50, still on his feet to the 45, to the 40, spinning his way to the 45-yard line, and a nice run by Juwan Hill for a big first down into Hampton territory. Jones sets, pressured, now rolls to his left. He'll throw to the near boundary, and the pass is complete. Handoff goes to Juwan Hill. No, it's Jones is going to keep it, running left, inside of the 10, the 5. He'll cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown. And this snap sails over the head of Whirling. Whirling retreating. He'll kick it out of the back of the end zone, and it will be a safety. Izzy Reed looking to the near side right. He'll complete the pass, getting underneath it, Rodney Denard. Hands off, Jaquan Smith running the counter to the left. He's got some yardage across the 50. He'll drag his way forward. Boy, he got near that first down. What strength by Jaquan Smith. In the pistol, looking left the whole way, throwing left, and the pass is complete down that far sideline. Woodland Hills got the first down. Hand off, Smith runs right. Steps forward, inside of the 20, inside of the 15 to the far sideline. He'll go into the end zone unscathed for a 27-yard Woodland Hills touchdown. Rotter hands off. Smith this time met by Sidney Summers at the line of scrimmage. 2 straight tackles for Summers. He'll hand off, and again, Sidney Summers makes the play.
We are the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Since 1987, we've been a part of some of the most electrifying football games in Western Pennsylvania, and we've established a national reputation of excellence. Whether you're a former player, a Woody High alum, a parent, or a fan, you're part of our Wolverine family. And now you can join us by becoming a part of our new booster club, the Wolverine Nation. Visit WHFBA.org and see how your donation can help our student athletes while earning you unique benefits. We're more than just a booster club. We are the Wolverine Nation.
Hi again, fans, and welcome back to this Week 7 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Adam Gusky here sitting down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak. And Coach Novak, before we talk about this week's road game at North Hills, let's take a look back to last week's victory at the Wolverina against Hampton, a big conference victory at home, and you seem to get it done in all phases of the game.
Yeah, it was a good game for us, Adam. Hampton came in here and they got some players. They were fired up to play us down here. Coach DiMatteo did a nice job. They changed their offense up and their defense for us, and they went back to ball control offense. They tightened their splits, and they got some big linemen up front. The backs were close to the line, so they were getting 3-4 yards, just trying to maintain the ball so we wouldn't have it. But it was a good physical game for us, and our kids played very well. We had a nice goal line stand. A lot of good things happened during the game.
You talked last week about how unconventional Hampton was, so it seems like you didn't expect that kind of eye backfield ball control offense?
No, they were spread, throwing the ball, running the jet motion, all different things. that a lot of teams are doing now. And they just went back to the pro eye set and, used a little bit of motion, but they ran the football and did a nice job of it. Some off-tackle powers, some counters, it was they ran a lot of boot passes off of it, so they were well prepared. And our kids, again, we found some things we got to work on defensively. And you work all year. We got an inexperienced team, especially on offense. You work every game. You learn something about something you do and how we can do it better, offensively and defensively. So, the score wasn't indicative of how good Hampton was, because we made some big plays, and a lot of positive things happened. Like I say, the quarterbacks, Mike and Danny, both had good games. We threw the ball more. That was a game plan going in, and try to throw the ball a little bit more, and we did, and we were successful with it. Oliver made some catches. Dede made some catches. Eric Oliver made some catches. We had a great game from Derek Caraway. Jawan Hill had a great game running the ball. He got a little banged up early in the game, so we didn't play him too much during the game offensively or defensively. So, that was didn't want him to get hurt any further. But I think he'll be back this week.
Coach, you touched on the passing game. Let's expand on that a little bit. It seemed like both Mike Whitehurst and Daniel Jones really were able to get things going in the passing game more than they have all season long.
Yeah, we gave more attempts. We threw the ball more. We were in situations to throw it. To be successful and to move along against the good teams, we're going to have to be able to throw the football. So that was one of our objectives, to get better in the passing game. Pass blocking was very good. We had time most of the time to throw the ball. And some good things happened. Some things we planned for that they did defensively worked out for us, and it was very positive. Like you say, Mike had some nice passes, Danny had some, and Izzy came in the second half, and he threw some nice balls also. So he's a good young quarterback coming up, a lot of potential.
And it seems like you've expanded the receiving core as well, moving Rodney Denard out to the receiver spot, and with the addition of Deontay Robertson, that takes some of the weight off of Avram Abramovitz.
Yeah, when you got Dede on one side and Auburn on the other, it's hard to try to double team anybody or put more people on one of them, because they're both very good players. As far as Rodney, he's a great running back, but when Perkins got hurt, that hurt us in the slot position, because he and Derek were the two slots. So we moved Rodney there, and I'm sure next year he'll be in a running back, but he's a good slot. He's a big kid, good target. We sometimes move running backs out there anyhow, so it was a good move for us, because we have Jawan and Saeed at the running back spots. And
Coach, let's talk about the defense. While you did allow over 100 yards rushing from one player for the first time this season, it did seem like you were able to shut down the passing game from your opponent yet again.
When they went to the tight splits, we weren't squeezing down enough our outside people when they were getting some plays where they get 5 or 10 yards, and then they ran some boots where they got outside on us. And they had a couple good running backs, and they did move the ball. They got the one touchdown early, and late in the second half, they were driving in, and we had a nice goal line stand. I think that was crucial for our defense, because we had a lot of young kids in there, and inexperienced kids. Saeed wasn't in there, so it was big for the defense to make that defensive goal line stand.
Well, Coach, let's move on to this week. You take on the North Hills Indians for the first time in the regular season in a very long time. Talk about the matchup.
Well, they've always been a tough team to play, especially up there at Mortarelli Stadium. Played a lot of football games up there. It's always tough. North Hills is one of the top programs in WPO over the last 30 years, and they have a lot of tradition. And this year they have 27 seniors, and this is the year they want to bring back North Hills football to where it was back in the 90s. And got a good coaching staff, good athletes, tough kids. It'll be a physical game, be a tough game. Our kids are up for the challenge, but it'll be a tough game.
Talk about the Indians specifically. What can we expect from them offensively and defensively?
Well, offensively, there are multiple set offense. Their quarterback's a big kid, 6'3", 170. It's the tallest quarterback they've had. He throws the ball more than he runs it. The Santucci kids, their main threat offensively is a running back. He also plays like a strong safety outside linebacker position for him. He's one of their best athletes. You know, they're solid on the offensive and defensive line. They pull their guards a lot like we do. They use a fullback, H-back type guy that leads the way for Santucci a lot. They'll run a lot of reverses, a lot of outside stuff. They have quite a bit of trick plays, double passes, you know, everything you got to look for. There are a lot of reverses. So we're practicing against everything this week, trying to get ready for them. And it'll be a challenge because they are so diverse offensively. Defensively has always been their strength. You know, they run a four-man front, very solid, well coached. They're probably one of the best coached defenses in the WPL because they read so well. You know, the four down guys and the linebackers. Their defense has been around since the 70s, and it's the same defense. Made adjustments for the spread sets and everything, but they're very well coached kids, and they read their keys and do their jobs. And you know, you got to make some plays to beat them. They gave both Upper St. Clair and West Allegheny a game when they played them. They won their last 3 games in a row, so you know this will be a big test for us and a big game for them.
Coach, let's talk about the difficulties of playing teams like Chartiers Valley or Hampton for the first time ever, or for instance, North Hills for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, throw Penn Trafford in there too, because you know they're teams that you don't know what they're going to do, how to prepare for them. Will they make changes? What adjustments do they make? You know, personnel, we had no idea about the personnel on any of the teams, how good they were. You know, until we got their rosters and that, we didn't know how many seniors they had. So we kind of went from what information we had on from other coaches and reading in the newspapers and stuff like that online. But it makes it a little tougher, but it's tougher for them too, so it works both ways.
Well, Coach, at this point of the interview, we have a tendency to talk about former Wolverines, whether they're playing in college or in the NFL, but let's change gears a little bit. In the past, we've talked about some Woodland Hills coaches that coach at the high school level that are former Wolverines. Let's talk about some of the former Wolverines that are coaching in the midget ranks, building a program to help your program in the future, guys like Chris Edmonds.
Yeah, Chris does a great job with the midgets. And a lot of the people in the community, I think that's been one of the biggest parts of our success, having a strong midget organization. And you know, we do have 4 midget teams, and we have guys that coached them for years. The Swissville team, you know, they've been down there for years. Some of the old-time guys are still there coaching. Braddock, some of our players are down there. The 2 Woodland Hills midget teams both have a lot of kids on them, and you know, we have a number of kids that played for us coaching at that level, and you know, it's good for me to see them. I don't want to forget any names. I know Marcus Berkeley's there, Fawn Angie coached there, and they're always helping us out. Smucker's coaching for them. So we got a number of guys that, you know, we got him up here last week to hold the sticks for the game. We were short a guy, so him and Botisse were there. It's nice to see them, Marcus Berkeley and those guys out there coaching. The Dew Trails are involved with some midget programs. It's just nice to see their kids and see them coaching. It's a good feeling.
And let's talk about the fact that, you know, that is part of what is becoming now a legacy at Woodland Hills. Names like Sidney Summers and a lot of the guys that are now second generation players that are coming through the program. Last year, Amir Cobbs was another name that Freddie and I talked about last week of, you know, second generation Wolverines. Yeah,
we've had a number, you know. I didn't count them all, but I'd dare to say we might have close to a dozen sons of former Wolverines that have come through and played. And, you know, a lot of them have coached, but, you know, it's nice to have those guys coming through and play. And you get to see their fathers, and it's a good feeling for me.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for your time. Good luck this week against the Indians. We'll talk to you again next week.
I appreciate it, Adam. Just want to say hi to Aiden up there in New York, and Max and Ava. Keep working hard in school, guys. Keep reading. Reading is the key to success.
Thanks a lot, Coach, again. We'll be back with more of the pregame show right after this here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
What's for dinner on Thursday night? Chicken wings. Come on down to Turtle Creek for Thursday night wings at the Wolverina. Fresh, whole wings, hand-breaded and hand-tossed with 4 different flavors. And the best part is that all proceeds benefit the Woodland Hills football program. Thursday night wings at the Wolverina every Thursday evening during the season. Let's take a look at the Wolverines' results and remaining schedule. The WPIAL 5A Allegheny 9 Conference standings. And now the MSA Sports WPIAL 5A Top 10 Rankings.
Again, fans, we thank you for joining us for this Week 7 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. If you can't make it to Martirelli Stadium on Friday night, you can listen live on msasports.net. You can watch our live stream on the Woodland Hills Football Network Facebook page. Select broadcasts throughout the season will also be streamed live on our YouTube channel. And as always, you can tune into the replays on Monroeville Comcast Channel 13, Penn Hills Comcast Channel 98, Verizon Fios Channel 37, and all of our broadcasts are available in HD on our YouTube channel. For everybody at the Woodland Hills Football Network, I'm Adam Gusky, and we'll talk to you again next week as the Wolverines travel to Moon Township.
This has been a presentation of the Woodland Hills Football Network. Watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and as always, visit us at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com.